Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are staying tuned to this news update. I am the CHALL. We've got some breaking news from Canada's Wonderland in the last 24 to 48 hours. And finally, after months and months and months, we've finally got the announcement of AlpenFury, the tallest, fastest and longest launch coaster in Canada, which is coming to the park for 2025. In this whole video, we're going to go through everything about AlpenFury, the story, the layout. We're going to go through everything about this project. So before we get into this, make sure you do subscribe on YouTube, click the notification bell so you never miss another YouTube upload. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers on there and 500,000 views. Make sure you stay tuned on Apple, Spotify, and all our other social media platforms for other news updates. We are going to deliver the Carowinds analysis on their brand new family editions. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, thrill seekers of all ages, let's chat Canada's Wonderland. So let's get started with the location of this roller coaster to give you guys a bit of a recap as to where in the park this is going. So AlpenFury is going in a very unique location. If you guys remember from previous news updates, AlpenFury will be located in quite a few locations. There's quite a lot of locations which are covering this particular project. If you look on your screen already on YouTube, those of you listening on Apple or Spotify, go across to the YouTube version and go and have a look. This is where this ride is going. So you can see the yellow bits and the red bits. The red bits are the vehicle access tunnels on the screen, and the yellow bits are the actual construction wall site. So you've got the bit there Fly, which is the park's Mack Wild Mouse roller coaster. Obviously that is where, or roundabouts where the station is for this ride. There is also a section of this attraction which is around the Extreme Skyflyer attraction. Of course, that was removed after 20 plus years of operation at the park. Part of the layout is going in that location. You've also got tunnel access at one end of the mountain, with another part of the access going out of the mountain. So AlpenFury is a very in and out, over the top, out and back, through the mountain, a very unique layout. Now, this roller coaster was manufactured by Premier Rides, and we knew this for a while due to the leaked document page on coaster forums across the country and across the world about a Premier Rides launch coaster. Now, originally it said a dual launch coaster. However, that is not the case. However, dual could come into many different forms. For instance, the idea of maybe more than one train on the circuit. There is an opportunity for that. And I think when you look at the layout, there is an opportunity to bring in more than one train for this particular roller coaster. Now then, let's talk about the story of this attraction, the official story from Canada's Wonderland. The villagers at the base of Wonder Mountain closed the climbing trails decades ago, and after tales began to spread that it became home to beasts and mythical forces. One legend holds that at the mountain's core, fire and ice come together in their most raw elemental states to create a powerful natural force that is both terrifying and awe-inspiring. The story has become so ingrained in local culture that the Alpen village now celebrates the mythical union with its own fire and ice festival every year. As a visitor, you're fortunate to find yourself in the village during the height of the festival. It's a jubilant and colourful celebration. Those brave enough are invited to visit the sled horse, where a sleek modern sled awaits, outfitted for a journey through the very heart of Wonder Mountain and beyond. The temptation for adventure overcomes any trepidation you feel about facing the force within. You board the sled and buckle in before being launched into the journey of a lifetime. Now then, what about the layout for this particular roller coaster? Well, we're going to go through it element by element by using the POV footage from the ride experience. So first, of course, you're starting in the station. As we said, it's near the Fly roller coaster and the Mondale top scan nearby. You see the boomerang peering over the top. So you turn around and you face towards the mountain, where you go through the initial first boost, which turns you inside of the access tunnel and out the other side through a massive launch into what looks like an inverted top hat, which looks like a very unique element. It turns back in and under itself before flying into a massive wave turn, then back underneath the structure before going into what looks like a 0G roll with a bit of a stall at the top, before turning up and over, before it turns back down into a very much a figure 8 inverted element, before rolling inside and rolling back on the outside, of course past the extreme skyfly pot of land. Of course it goes through another barrel roll before going through another barrel roll, then it turns up and over itself into another roll before flying up and over and back into the station. Overall, a unique ride experience with no traditional inversions like vertical loops or corkscrews, just a very unique element and a combination of various unique elements within the ride experience opening at Canada's Wonderland in 2025. So then, what about the stats? And what do we know specifically about this roller coaster? The website at Canada's Wonderland is determining it to be a dual launch roller coaster because technically you've got the boost and you've got the main launch in the vehicle access tunnel. Now this again resembles dual launch or multi-launch, and I think that it's a really unique kind of version of the dual launch. You've got the initial boost before you go into the main launch of the ride, which is during the tunnel inside the Wonder Mountain. And that means now I believe there's 4 roller coasters that are actually intertwining within Wonder Mountain. You've got Vortex, you've also got Thunder Run, you've also got Wonder Mountain's Guardian, and now we've got AlpenFury. Now AlpenFury for me, I think what I like about AlpenFury as a ride is that it doesn't just launch through the mountain. You've got all these unique, weird elements that twist you all around, and it looks very, very intriguing to me. It's a very unique and intriguing roller coaster. It's not the traditional type of launch coaster. You've got very weird elements. It's like the weird cousin of the traditional launch roller coaster. It's very unique. It's very, very different. It offers a different ride experience to other launch coasters in North America. In my opinion, most launch coasters in the world, and definitely in North America and Europe combined. I think it's one of the most unique launch coasters I've seen in a very long time. And for me, I feel like Canada's Wonderland is doing a very good job marketing this as a very good, unique ride experience for the whole country, never mind just Canada, even though it does break Canadian coaster records for being the tallest, the longest, and the fastest. Speaking of the official stats of the ride, let's go into some facts and figures about AlpenFury. So of course the ride is designed by Premier Rides, but here's some facts and figures about the coaster itself. The height of the launch is 50 meters with a drop of 47 meters, a max speed of 115 kilometers per hour, 1,000 meters in track length, 2 trains, which is fantastic. You get that dueling feeling, hopefully, with 18 riders per train and a ride duration of 1 minute 20. Now, the main stat to note here is 9 inversions, the most of a launch coaster in North America. And in fact, this breaks the inversion record for North America. Previously, the inversion record was held by Steel Curtain at Kennywood on 8 inversions for that country. However, with that being SBNO now, AlpenFury takes the record regardless. So AlpenFury will have the most inversions on any roller coaster in North America, with 9 inversions officially confirmed by the park and by the announcement of this brand new attraction. So let's talk about the name, AlpenFury. I really like the name AlpenFury. I think it gives the perfect combination of the storyline. I think it's a brilliant blend of fire and ice when you look at the logo of the ride. And, you know, I'm surrounded by marketing people in terms of family, so I know exactly what I look for when marketing and promoting and advertising a ride experience. So AlpenFury as a brand, as an identity for merchandise sales, for marketing brands, for campaigns, for advertisements. I think that AlpenFury represents the best of the best when it comes to promoting and advertising this ride experience to the public before opening next year. And I think that the logo really stands a testament to that. Branding is very, very important in the theme park industry. You've got to market your ride to the right audience, for the right people, and the logo and the identity and the merch point of the ride has to look stand out. It can't drivel on, it has to be short, snappy, and get to the point. AlpenFury ticks every single one of them boxes for me. The logo with one of the most unique inversions on the ride, or one half the most unique inversions on the attraction, combined with the fire and ice in the logo, of course Fury representing fire, Alpen representing the ice side with the snow and the blizzard kind of theme with it. I think the two combine very, very well as elemental forces within the marketing and branding and promoting of the ride. And I think that the name itself, AlpenFury, gives a lot to be desired when it comes to the Fire and Ice Festival and the story of this village branded with the as the official storyline for this ride experience. Now then, what about the Premier Rides trains? There have been a lot of coaster enthusiasts that have been questioning whether this ride will have the comfort collars. However, as you see on the animation on your screen on YouTube, if you're watching this rather than listening to this news update, you can see the ride car does not have comfort collars. Obviously, this could be a placeholder, but we know that recent years we've seen the comfort collars removed from other Premier roller coasters such as Icebreaker at SeaWorld. I really could see this not being a placeholder. I could generally see them going with lap bars for this ride experience. Now, from operational points of view, with Icebreaker, we had heard stories that it takes longer with the lap bars than it does with the comfort collars, because as people know, if people know about Premier rides and their ride cars, especially with the Skyrocket 2 roller coasters and the Skyrocket coasters in general, we know that with the lap bar restraints with Icebreaker, there's a seat belt quite tight towards the lap bar. So from an operational perspective, it's very, very hard to find that seat belt, strap it in and get it sorted. From an operational point of view, it is quicker with the comfort collars. However, the ride experience, from what we've seen from reviews from people that have rode Icebreaker before the comfort collars and after comfort collars, it's a much better ride experience without the comfort collars. The comfort collars seem to be a placeholder name for more hurtful ride experience from some of the reviews we were getting from coaster enthusiasts and some of the general public in that area of the country as well. So the lap bars definitely are better of the two in terms of restraint style to go for. However, from an operational perspective, I reckon they're going to learn from some of the things that they did with Icebreaker, with the lap bars, with the secret seat belt near the lap bars, and try and think of a better way to make it quicker operationally, but also just as safe to keep the flow going. Now, of course, the capacity of the attraction has become a bit of a concern amongst coaster enthusiasts also, with, obviously, we know it's going to be 18 riders. In total, we know that it's going to have 2 trains. Obviously, it's 3 cars per train is what we could see from the animation of this ride. Capacity seems to be an issue, and if people have been to Canada's Wonderland, I've never been to Canada's Wonderland. I really want to go at some point. Fingers crossed we'll try and get down there next year for the opening day of AlpenFury, or a potential media or press day for AlpenFury if we can. But when you've been to Canada's Wonderland, from what I was hearing from numerous people, it is a busy park at peak time. If you're going to ride AlpenFury, I think Taylor from Coaster Studios suggested this. I'm going to suggest this as well. Make sure you do that ride first on the day, because trust me, that ride will get busy. And the queue line for this ride, I'm sure, will be pretty interactive. I'm sure the queue line will have some nice cattle pen elements. I'm sure certain parts of the queue line may interact with the mountain nearby. I've got a funny feeling the queue line could be very, very intriguing in terms of entering this attraction, waiting for this attraction, what's the wait experience like, because we only know from experience with Alton Towers about the Oblivion queue line. You know, it's wrapping around itself, it's up and over, you've got the queue line screens. They have to keep you entertained while waiting during the peak times in busy days. So Canada's Wonderland have a very tough job, in my opinion, to keep those guests entertained while waiting a very long line for a average capacity attraction. Not the highest capacity attraction, but just a normal average capacity attraction. Finally then, what are my thoughts on AlpenFury at Canada's Wonderland? I think this project is going to be absolutely spectacular. I think that Canada's Wonderland are doing a wonderful job with this attraction. I think that they're marketing it very, very well. They're blending the Fire and Ice story incredibly smoothly and effectively, collaging it together with the ride experience rather than clashing it with the ride experience. So the ride experience itself doesn't feel separate to the brand and the marketing and the promoting and the storyline behind the attraction. It feels very much together rather than divided. And here on Chall Chats, we are fully supportive of Canada's Wonderland and their brand new roller coaster. A lot of enthusiasts seem to think the likes of Intamin, Mack or Vekoma could have been potential manufacturers to go with this. S&S maybe as an outside choice. But Premier Rides, obviously, for those of us who knew about the leak and knew about the rumours about Premier Rides, we knew this was coming for a while. But what I didn't expect was the 9 inversion ride experience that we were announced to be getting. I was thinking, and people have seen my updates previously on this and my prediction videos on this. I had said previously that I was thinking of maybe a Mobius loop style. I was speaking to Jake Coasters from America about the Busch Gardens Tampa video, and then off camera we were talking about that project at Canada's Wonderland, and we were talking about how we're thinking it could be something like West Coast Racers, so a bit of an actual dueling coaster rather than just two trains dueling together on one track. So it's a very unique ride experience. They've gone for a very, very smart choice with a lot of inversions. Obviously, inversions don't always make a good ride experience, but I think 9 inversions combined with a dual launch, and I think having 2 trains on the circuit with the lap bars rather than the comfort collars, I think Premier Rides have smashed this one absolutely out of the park. Many people have joked that King's Dominion should have been getting this with their mountain for Volcano the Blast Coaster as a replacement, and then Canada's Wonderland get the Wing Coaster. For me, I wouldn't have minded either way. I think that this is perfect for Canada's Wonderland. I think the Wing Coaster for King's Dominion is perfect for them. I think that the dual launch coaster out of the mountain is perfect. Maybe the Volcano the Blast Coaster mounted at King's Dominion wasn't structurally safe anymore to house anything or any elements. Maybe that's why they decided to go with demolishing the mountain at King's Dominion rather than keeping that one. So we'll see what happens in terms of the logistics behind the details surrounding the 2 investments. But I think that Canada's Wonderland absolutely deserve this investment. Premier Rides have knocked the layout straight out of the park. The story team, the creative process of this ride experience, again, they smashed it right out of the ballpark. And this is a wonderful addition to the Parks Coaster lineup. So thank you very much for watching and listening to this theme park news update. Stay tuned for more. And for now, I am the CHALL. Ta-ra for now, and that is the end of your theme park experience.